welcome! Today I'm going to pot some succulents in my handmade planters. These are ones that I just got back from my pottery class. Nothing fancy, it doesn't have my usual flower corsages, but I really like these glazing combos, so I decided to stick to them. I was for a while testing various different glazes, but I think I settled down on a handful of glaze, and believe it or not, each time it comes out differently. But for the most part, I do like these, and I'm gonna plant some succulents in there now. These succulents that I have purchased, they've been sitting around for a while now, and I'm looking for a little tray. Here we go. So they've been waiting for a while to be potted, so let's see what's gonna go where. Okay, it's been sitting here for a little while. I did put in some extra rocky soil mix in here just to prop it up a little bit. It looks like maybe it might have stretched just a little bit in there. Let's see. And I did put one of these mini forks up in there too. And you see some of my rocky soil mix in the bottom. I had to prop it up. Yeah, so this has been sitting here, I don't even know how long. I'm still purchasing more succulents. I'm trying not to. I probably shouldn't at this point, because I really don't have any space for them, like I've been saying. But you know what? I purchased new shelves to make more space. I know it's crazy. I mean, I do have the space in my office. I was trying to avoid having to get more shelving, because that would just mean if I end up making more space for myself, I'll just keep buying more succulents. So, but at this point, I mean, my room is a plant room, so why not? I know I try to not buy more succulents, but deep down inside, I really do want to buy more, of course. Trying to just have some self-control. And okay, I lost the name tag on this one, but I'm pretty sure this is a variegated Peach Pride, Echeveria Peach Pride, variegated. So I have a couple of Peach Prides, not in here right now, they're outside. Spring is a great time to purchase new succulents, but it's gotten so hot so fast this year. I don't know about anywhere else, but in New York, it's been really, really hot. And my succulents that are sitting outside, they're really suffering. And I'm already seeing problems with some of my succulents, and I had to bring some in today. Yeah, I don't know how this summer is gonna go. I feel like last summer I was kind of on the luckier side, in that sometimes it's like ignorance is bliss, in that if you don't know better, I mean, you just kind of, you wing it and you get lucky and you manage pretty well. But then again, I feel like last summer, I don't know that it was that hot that many days. I feel like it wasn't. I don't know, my memory is a little wonky sometimes, especially more so now. So I can't say that, my memory is accurate. But this season, it's definitely gotten warmer so much quicker. So yeah, this year is the first, this year I decided to grow some of my succulents inside. Keep them inside. Only because a lot of them are new in that they came rootless. So I have to wait until they either put out new roots. I have some of them suspended up in the air beside me on my plant shelf. So it's easier for me to wait until they put out some roots and then plant them, because then it's, especially with the weather getting so warm now, I just feel like that's a more safe way to go, instead of just popping them onto the pot with no roots. So at least the rooms, I think for some of these succulents, it's better that they're inside, only because at least inside, the AC will kick in at one point if it gets too hot. And I do have a fan running in my plant room. Pretty much nowadays, it's been so warm that I've been running my fan pretty much all day, and not like just one ceiling. I have a ceiling fan and I have tower fans in various corners of this room, and I will sort of shift them around as needed. Hopefully that won't dry out the plants too much, and hopefully every side of the room then can get some sort of circulation. I mean, there's no science to this. I'm just hoping that's gonna help, only because I've never really had succulents in the office all year round, all 4 seasons. So it's kind of, I mean, the thought is a little bit scary if you ask me. But so far so good. I picked this one for the next pot. I only have 3 this time around. I glazed a bunch of my pots, but not all of them made it to the kiln at the studio, so I only have 3, so I'm only potting 3. So I picked this one for this succulent, and for some reason also I lost the tag on this one. I'm pretty sure it's an Echeveria silk veil. I love this glaze. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but this, I believe, is called Coastal Blue. I love it. So that's going to be one of my go-to glaze. So as I was saying, what was I saying? Yeah, so I have a lot of my succulents sitting in here for the office, and I plan to try growing them out. I want to try growing them out in the office all year round. I feel like that could work for me, or work better for me. We'll see how it goes after this summer, because it does get pretty warm in here, but it certainly doesn't get as warm as outside. Some of these succulents do terribly in the heat, and it's been so hot, and the temperatures have been really high for the last, I'm gonna say, couple of weeks. I mean, we've had some crazy rain too, but for the most part, it's really the high temperatures and the extreme, sunny days that's really the issue. And obviously, of course, I have sunshades out there, and I actually just put out a new sunshade. I purchased a white one now. This time, I mean, it came from overseas. They don't have white ones on any kind of website here for some strange reason. So I purchased it from Amazon, and it shipped internationally. It took a while to get here. But I purchased a white one instead of the normal black ones that I was using, only because I feel like the white one will, well, I've read and heard that it will help keep the succulents cooler, because even though the temperatures read in the 80s on a given day, my thermometer that's outside when the sun's beating down on them, it goes as high as like 95, 98. It's been like that the last couple of weeks that the sun's been out. So it's gotten really hot really fast. It's only June, beginning of June right now. So yeah, and it makes me nervous. I already had a couple of succulents that had issues. I actually brought them in today because the leaves were turning yellow, and it looked like they were getting waterlogged. And then I'm having other issues, like some of the leaves, the thin-leaved ones, are getting these weird spots on them, and I just don't know what they are. I want to say that they are some sort of virus, because I feel like I've seen I've seen people talk about viruses in the summer where the succulent will get these black spots. Now, I have specifically 3 succulents that has this problem, and I should probably show you guys, but they're outside, and they've got, it's almost like they have some sort of weird skin disease. They have like these weird tiny bumps all over their leaves, and they're not necessarily black, they don't look burnt, but they're these little tiny bumps, and I've never seen them before. I haven't had this problem last year, and all of a sudden this year I'm seeing these weird bumps, and at the same time, some of the bottom lower leaves are turning yellow, looking clear and waterlogged. I really don't know what the issue is. I wish I had something to help it along, but as I mentioned in a lot of my other videos, here I feel like they don't have any sort of disinfecting sprays that I see a lot of these international people use on their plants. The only kind of plant sprays that we have are to kill like spider mites. I know they have fungicide sprays and things of that nature, but nothing like a disinfectant. Some sort of plant disinfectant spray I think would really work for me when I discover these weird virus issue. But it doesn't seem to exist here. I know that the international channels that I follow, they specifically call them disinfectants, and I just can't seem to find them here. So just gotta, when these plants have these weird issues, and they're not necessarily pest issue because I don't see any pests. There's not much I can do. All I can do is just sort of wait it out and see if they end up being okay. And sometimes that can get pretty frustrating. And that, I wished, if it's a virus issue, I definitely wish, and I just saw a little fruit fly or some sort of gnat flying past me. Okay. Now it's just that season. Now that it's warmer, these little pesky gnats are flying everywhere. And of course I have indoor houseplants. I'm going off the tangent here, but one of them I bought new soil to replant some of my houseplants, and it was infested, and I didn't know. Like, it was infested with gnats, and I had to throw out the whole bag because one of the new plants that I planted with this soil, like, it hatched, and there's now gnats everywhere. So I had to take it outside. I had to give it treatment, and that didn't work. So I had to get rid of the old soil and put new soil. It was this whole charade, and now I have little gnats flying everywhere. And who likes pests? Who likes insects? I hate them, and then it drives me crazy. All right, second one done. Last one. Okay. Now this one, I love the shape of this planter. Once again, it's in the same coastal blue. I love this color. I just can't get enough of it. Let's see. This one is a little bit, it's narrow and kind of long. So let's see what would look good in it. Okay, maybe this one. So I actually picked this up in Home Depot. Let's see the name. It's Corpuscularia lemani. I have no idea. But I feel like this has a common name. I knew it at one point. I cannot for the life of me remember. But I feel like I've seen these a lot somewhere. I watch so much plant videos. So, who knows, but I'm sure there's an easier name, as a lot of these plants with these scientific names, I know they definitely have a common name. Oh, this one's a little wet. I don't remember watering this. When did I water this? I don't know, it's been sitting here for, I want to say at least a couple of weeks. I could be wrong, but I don't remember watering it. Or did I water it? Obviously I watered it. I just don't remember when. Okay. So yeah, when they're wet like this, yeah, I think I watered it last week. When they are wet like this, it's not the best time to pot. And that, you end up hurting the roots a lot and you sort of peel it back, and that's never a good thing. I like to pot my plants when the soil is very dry, so that when you clean off the old soil, it just kind of crumbles off and not without, with minimal damage to the roots. So this one, I don't know if this is one body. A lot of times when you get these succulents, they look like a cluster, but it ends up being just single plants potted together. I don't know if anybody cares about that, but sometimes you prefer the clusters to be one cluster. And when they say that it's a cluster, I think it's implied that it's from a single plant, but maybe not. Apparently, I just splattered myself with soil. Apparently, internationally, at least in Korea, when they talk about these plants, Pricing wise, it does make a difference whether they're one body or I mean, I know certain plants, they can't, you know, it's impossible to get them as clusters. Or pricing wise, it does make a difference whether they're naturally born cluster. I don't know if that even makes sense, but or if they're like man-made cluster. Is that even the right way to describe it? Like, I'm saying these things because I watch these channels in Korean, and I'm fluent in Korean, so I hear and I understand what they're saying, but I don't necessarily know the plant lingo. Like, it doesn't translate well. Or, I mean, I'm not a translator, so sometimes what I say might not really make sense. But apparently in Korea, it makes a big difference in pricing, whether it's like a cluster that was naturally formed into a cluster, or if it's man-made. Man-made meaning, you know, they behead the succulent and it put out offsets and then ended up being a cluster after that. So usually for when you behead and it puts out little offsets, you can see that you can see the main stem in the middle. It's chopped off. So that's how you tell if it's man-made or, you know, if it's not naturally. I feel like when I made this pot, I made it with the intention of putting a specific plant in here, but it's been a while, at least like 3 weeks maybe, and now I can't remember. I feel like I made this specifically for one of the plants that are kind of stemmy, if that's even a word, but I can't remember now. And this one, I don't know anything about these plants, and it looks like these put out babies like in the middle, like one of those other plants. What are these? What are some of these other plants that I have? Do these? I don't know if it's specific to the genre or species or whatever, but I know that one of the cotyledon orbicularia puts out offsets this way too. So I figured this pot would look good with something like tall and stemmy. I don't know how that looks. I can't tell. I can't see. I don't really have a good view because the camera is kind of blocking my view. But let's see. Alright. I don't know. I think it's alright. Well, let's just go for it, right? Well, at least we know the roots were doing a good job. It was very wrinkly before, but I watered it and it responded to water. I think that's always good. Although I just cleaned up a lot of the roots, so we'll see. I'm gonna have to settle into this pot again. Now, for the most part, I don't think it hasn't been a real issue. I haven't had a lot of plants that has a hard time settling into the pot after I pot it. I mean, there's definitely handful of plants that take a really long time to settle into a pot. Like, I think I potted a pink champagne last year, and I've just noticed I've been watering it, and the face has been still like closed up for the longest time, and just yesterday I noticed I watered it not like a few days ago, and just yesterday finally opened up his face. I'll try to put that on camera. That's if I can remember. There's just so much things going on that I can't remember. This is what I told my daughter today. I can't remember what I ate yesterday, let alone what we did a month ago. She's telling me, oh, we did this last time. I'm like, did we? I'm like, did we? Sorry, I can't remember. I'm like, maybe. I wish I could remember. I want to remember, trust me, I want to. But yeah. Okay, I'm trying to have it, I thought it looked kind of funny, like all pushed into the center. I think I like it more like spread out, all sort of looking different directions. I don't know if that's going as planned. So I know I sidetracked, but I don't remember what I was talking about last. So yeah, so I bought more plant shelves, like the ones I have behind me over here, but taller ones. I realized they're taller ones, and I said, why not? Let's get the taller ones. Which means I get one additional shelf, which means I can get more succulents. Now I have to rearrange this tiny room to make space for these bookshelves that I got. And hopefully this summer we'll see how these indoor succulents do. And at least we have AC in here, which it's obviously on a program, so during the day we don't have the AC on the second floor, but at nighttime it will kick in, especially when it gets hot. So I think I have it kicking in at 75 degrees overnight. So I think some of these succulents will definitely do better in here versus outside. But for the most part right now, the ones that I have inside are ones that I bought rootless, so they're growing out new roots, they're settling into their pots. So I feel like the more controlled environment indoors works better for those type of succulents. Okay, so today I potted 3 of my plants that's been sitting here waiting for my handmade pots. And let's see, this one was Echeveria Silk Veil. This one I believe is an Echeveria Peach Pride Variegated. And this one had a very difficult name. Let's see again. This one was a Corpuscularia Limani. I will insert the common name if I can find it. And that's it for today. A lot of chit-chatting going on today, random stuff. We'll see how the video comes out. My apologies for the shaking. Hopefully it'll be minimal. And I will have to grab my other video camera stand for next time. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye now.